Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is BestInSlot and we are back playing Her Story. Don't need to explain much else, do I? If you're here at this point, you kind of know what to expect. Right, so, apparently I've been making mistakes. Well, the suspicions that I've made a mistake in that Eve and Hannah, hence both palindromes, are actually twin sisters. Because one of them does have this tattoo, which is an apple and a snake. We saw that. And obviously Eve and Adam, apple, snake, all that kind of jazz. So that might change things a little bit. Our originals... So do we think that... There's a whole song about killing her sister and stuff like this. I don't blimmin' know. Let's search for twin. There we go. Right. Where's my pen?
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Yes. Why is she pretending otherwise? Maybe she's not twins and they were like covering up the tattoo. This is a new piece of clothing, I think. Where are we on the timeline? Is this blue shirt? No, this is new. This is new.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
You're not answering the question, are you, my dear?
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Right. So I think these two are two different ones. Right here. That one's got her arm covered up just to hide any potential tattoo. So it seems one of the twins, because she's denying it there, this is only one day later, so why would she be openly talking about it? So they must be different people. This is weird.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Tell you what, it definitely gets worse for... Don't know what the hell that was. Right. Oh, this is confusing. So... Let's go back to the tattoo. Okay, so it's on the left arm, sort of midway up.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
So this is Eve. Right, what I need to start doing then is trying to find out... Blue t-shirt, Eve. I'm going to make notes as to who it is in each kind of set of videos. So on the first, it's Eve. That other one is definitely new, by the way. It's kind of like a weird dark blue t-shirt jacket thing. Because we've seen the first, the second, and the third. Right, what was the name of the midwife? She just mentioned it a second ago, and I thought I wrote it down, and I definitely didn't. So, let's search for twins again. It's not how you spell twins, BestInSlot. There we go. This one?
Florence took me home with her.
Florence. There we go.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
Okay, so if we take everything at face value, there's my face value. Then, I don't know why that was so funny to me. If we take everything at face value, Hannah grew up in her parents' house, whereas Eve... Wait, no, I forgot that the wrong way around. Yeah, Hannah grew up with the parents, I assume. Wait, no. Yeah, okay. Hannah grew up with the parents, whereas Eve grew up across the street from them with the midwife called Florence, okay? Eve's the one with the tattoo. And she saw Hannah with her parents. Then Hannah moves in with Simon, but Eve hooked up with Simon, who she met at a bar. He was married. She didn't know he was married to Hannah, as far as we know. She didn't know he was married to Hannah, but she slept with him. And then when Hannah invited her to live with her and Simon, they met Simon. Maybe it was a joint murder. Maybe both of them killed him. Maybe, again, I'm not 100% convinced it's twins yet.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Her story?
I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Okay, let's try Hannah and Simon. Bingo bango.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything.
Most things.
She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
What?
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
They had a slightly strange relationship. I mean, okay, so I think we have to assume they are twins for now, because this is far too detailed to be anything else.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back. After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. That's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
So... Okay. So, at the moment, Eve would seem to be a bigger suspect than Hannah, just because Eve is clearly quite fueled by jealousy at this point in time, right?
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Okay, so that's when they moved into the old parents' house, and they used to, Hannah used to hang out with in the attic. So when they moved back into the parents' house, they left it as it was. But then she said something about her living in the attic and nobody noticed. Like, she was living in the attic. I think Eve was living in the attic when her parents died. So was Eve living in the attic and Simon never goes up there? So Eve's living in there whilst this is all going on. Carl. Oh, hello. So this... No, this is still Eve. Okay.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
This is British, isn't it? I'm just going to confirm that right now.
No, I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Eve, I'm suspicious of your facial regions.
Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Okay. Did I search for this? Must have done. Just want to watch this one again.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother.
So this is Hannah.
She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Or is it though? Because again, the tattoo's covered up. So maybe, I mean, they've been fooling people their whole lives, right? So maybe this is just, maybe it's all just Eve, and she's basically crafted this alternate personality and made up her sister. Because I don't think you ever see Hannah with her arms exposed yet. I've not seen that yet. So I know she's probably just twins, but I'm not convinced, guys. I think there's more to it. I think there's twists. Twists are abound. I am actually kind of out of ideas right now as to what to search for. Okay, let's think. Death. Sometimes guessing helps. Guessing. Oh, okay, lol. That one was optimistic, it must be said. Okay, so... Eve, attic.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
God, her parents are bastards, aren't they? Why did they get rid of her then? Why did the parents not want twins? That's what we need to find out as well. Because the parents got rid of Eve. They kept Hannah. Hannah lived in the house. Eve used to sneak over and stay in the attic. And then that's where they'd hang out and stuff. I think she stayed in the attic permanently. Once Florence died, I think Eve moved into the attic. Because she said she was in the attic when her parents died.
No cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
Again, supposedly Hannah, based on what she's saying, but the arms are covered up. Hannah again.
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. The forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful. When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
And went to stay. So from 8 until the point where the real parents died, she was living in the attic. Assumedly moved out. She said she got a bedsit, I think. Yeah, she said she got a bedsit when that happened, I think. And then she was living in pretty squalor, just sleeping around and stuff. Hannah sees her and invites her back, and then Simon. If I search for his full name, will that help? No, that was silly. Eve and Simon. No luck. Right. I did write something down a second ago. What did I write down? Oh, Doug and Eleanor. Who are Doug and Eleanor? Oh, hello. Okay.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
25th, this is very early. Who's Blue Shirt? Blue Shirt is the second one in the timeline.
I got a job to contribute, Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Okay, there's no tattoo there. So unless she's covering up the tattoo, that does kind of solidify the whole twin thing.
I hoover, I dust every week. Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week. But every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. Ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Makes you think, doesn't it, Hannah? What would Simon be hiding from you? Okay, last video. Let's have a look.
Okay.
Maybe not last video. I want to keep playing.
I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Very helpful, Hannah. Thank you.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
What are you doing? Spilled coffee. There we go. Achievements all over the show. Right, okay, so there's been some revelations. We kind of have like a general picture of the entire lives of these girls now. We kind of know how their whole life went. The only problem now is figuring out who killed Simon. And we're missing a lot of tapes. And I still don't understand how this, like, what this means. This one volume missing thing here. What does that mean, game? What do you mean? Because that seems to move, unless I've gone crazy. It's been a muerta. Knife. Oh, okay.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure how it ends.
This girl's crazy. Okay, last one.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
It's kind of creepy as she keeps referring to her as a reflection. Not her sister, not her twin, her reflection. Like a demonic mirror that happens to live opposite you. Anyways, we're going to end it there, folks. I'm going to have a think and try to come up with some keywords, kind of ideas that we can pursue in the next couple of episodes and try to really knock through it a little bit more. I love this game. I really do. One of the best games of the year, in my opinion. Thank you for joining me. Cheers. Much love. As always, bye-bye.